This is Fade from Moonkinder. We're sitting down with Thy Will Be Done. We've got Jay Costa and
Chris.
Jay and Chris. All right, so we've got a couple questions from our listeners.
Okay.
What can we expect from the new album?
Hip hop.
Polka.
Yeah, it's like a polka funk fusion, rapcore.
It's pretty off the wall.
Yeah.
Lots of bass drops.
Yeah, like 14 bass drops per song, like 9 breakdowns in every song. So it just goes boom, da-doo, boom. Right, something like that?
No.
No.
Actually, it's extremely fast. It's a real kind of old school vibe. We're kind of tipping a lot of hats on this one as far as like what we grew up listening to and stuff like that, but still keeping it, you know, in the same ballpark as the first album. So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Lots of southern rock vibe, a lot more thrash, death metal. I mean, there's so much different stuff on this. Not really any certain genre, pigeonhole, right? It's pretty all over the place.
It's kind of our thing too. We kind of take all our influences and kind of like throw it all into what we would like to hear anyway. We're making music for ourselves first and foremost, and we just the hope is that somebody else likes it, But I mean, we dig it.
Yeah,
we're amped on
very,
it.
very happy with how it came out. Recorded back in November. Just took a couple weeks. We're sitting back listening to the mixes, and it was like, wow, okay, all right, I back it.
We've been doing like pre-production for like a full year, so we were like on tour, and then like we'd be home, and like he'd come up with parts on the road, and then like we'd come home, and then like the next like rehearsal we'd have, like he'd be like, check this out, like, whoa, all right, cool, So it was awesome. It really worked out well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
With that being said, on your MySpace blog, you said it often appears that there are so many that listen to everybody else or go with whatever's hot at the moment and get caught up in those kind of influences.
Yeah.
With that being said, what are your influences? What is that old school influence that
Slayer,
Pantera, obviously.
Black Sabbath,
Testament, Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah. I mean, you name it. I mean, like
Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
Bob Seger.
Yeah. I mean,
Sepultura.
Yeah. Big time.
I mean, the list is literally endless. I could go on for hours.
most metalheads can?
Yeah.
I think the cool thing about it though is like every song has kind of got its own little thing. You can say, oh yeah, that kind of sounds like an old Slayer song, or that sounds like an old Cannibal Corpse song, or something.
Like, not that it's a carbon copy, it's just like coming from that vibe. You get that vibe, like, oh cool, I see where they're coming from,
Like the first song on the record we've heard that sounds like Crowbar, or that sounds like Cannibal Corpse, or that sounds like old Black Sabbath. It's like there's so many different things. We've heard so many different.
It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it's eclectic, in a sense. It's the basic thing is like we're not trying to say like they have to sound like any other band or that we're like taking from anybody. All it is we're influenced, we're inspired, and that's what all bands do is they take their influences, their inspiration, and then you're a craftsman. You do your thing. You just kind of make your music.
Yeah, and it wasn't like we said, oh yeah, let's make like an old Metallica song. I mean, it was like a lot of it just happened. Parts would happen, and it was like, oh yeah.
And I think that's the problem. What I'm referring to on the blog is like a lot of people will hear like some of the newer bands today. And what I think is happening right now, especially with aggressive music and extreme music, is people aren't really pushing too much of a threshold as they think they are. And I think people are getting stuck with they're not getting adventurous anymore. They're not going back and listening to real records that like we grew up on, or like even bands that inspired other bands that we grew up listening to. Go backwards, listen to Saint Vitus, listen to Black Sabbath, see what they were doing. And then the bands that they influenced, like the Motorheads of the world, the Venoms of the world, you know what I mean? The Deaths of the world. I mean, you listen to all that and you see, like, there's a whole world out there. And then I think right now with aggressive music, I think a lot of people are getting comfortable with what's popular and what works. And the repetitious, rhythmic, like, chug is getting played out to the sense where people are comfortable playing that live because it's predictable and so people dance to it. And that's not necessarily what we want to do. Like, we're not trash talking that. We're just saying like that's not what we want to do. We want to write songs and we want to write some heavy metal tunes, and that's what I think we accomplished with this record.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. I cannot wait to hear this record. Cool. I can't say that enough. You also called yourself a working class band. Does that mean you have day jobs?
Amen.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
High five to the working man.
Oh yeah.
I have 3.
We all bust ass, and then not necessarily do this on the side. It's almost just like another job.
Right.
Except the other one more or less pays.
This
the bills.
one's more fun.
Oh yeah.
This is.
But we
this
all
is
gotta
life.
get up and go to work tomorrow.
Well, don't you guys have kids and you need to pay their bills?
No,
Nope.
no,
No?
no. We want a tour. We want a
Oh,
tour,
you
and that's what we
want
do. You know, and like when we're not
Most
on the
bands
road.
nowadays have kids,
Yeah,
so
when we're not on the road, we're at home working 40+ hours a week.
Yep.
You know,
must
and
be exhausting.
It is.
Yep.
It definitely is. But we do this because we love it. We're not doing it for any other reason but the fact that we love playing metal. So.
You know, I'm not gonna. Oh, I gotta work tomorrow. You know, it sucks, but you know, you gotta do it. It's
Right.
either that or you sit home and just work.
There's a
Yeah.
misconception out there that the moment you're in a signed band, like, oh, you're all set, you're made, you got money. It's like, really? Dude, really? We play metal. There's no money, and we're not doing this for money. Like, would I look like this? Would I look like this? Would I have a muskrat on my face if I wanted to make money? Seriously.
Sleeping.
Sleeping.
Don't want to wake up the beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, and there's that misconception. But no, we work hard and that's what we do. You know, we have fun.
We get on the road and we work hard.
Exactly. We take that work
There's
ethic
such a-
on the road.
There's such a drive and there's such a passion behind this that you know just couldn't pull us from it. I don't care what it is. You couldn't. There's no way I could be 3-4 days without sleep. You know, I'm like still gonna do it. You know.
Right, I'll be 9 days in, no sleep, driving, doing
Yeah.
the Twitch, doing the rock.
Oh yeah.
Keep myself awake.
Yeah. Yeah. This guy's a rule where he drives. He always drives. He doesn't let anybody else drive, but.
No,
He gets, you know, like everybody will fall asleep eventually, and he'll wake, you know, he'll pull over eventually, and you know, we'll be like, oh, where are we? Oh. And he's just like, yeah, we're about 15 minutes from the venue. He's still like 7 hours after the show. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
everyone's just waking up.
Yeah, and then he sleeps for 2 hours, drives to the venue, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna sleep in the van. But then he's just like, I gotta hang
So
out and talk to
that's
you.
why he's so spry on stage. Sleep deprivation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He'll eat a power bar and drink a Propel, and he's ready. Ready to go.
Let's do this.
Ready to go.
So, with that being said, with the working and everything, what was your worst job? What is the worst job you've ever had? Like, you just couldn't wait to get out of work. You just couldn't wait till you could quit that job. Don't say you didn't have one, because we all have one.
My first real job, I was in high school. I was about 16 years old. I started working at a Shaw's grocery store, which was awful. And I didn't run register or anything. I just bagged groceries and pushed cars. That was it. And in the frozen hostile wasteland, the Northeast Kingdom, northern New Hampshire area where I grew up, that sucks in the winter. It's terrible. And I'd get out of school and I'd have to work at 3. I'd get out of school at like 2:30, and then have to go to work at 3 o'clock. Work till 9:30, and not that I was going to do my homework anyway, but I wouldn't have time to do my homework if I was going to do it. Yeah, it was just awful. It was just awful. I want to go to college, so when I finally got out of high school, I was like, well, this ain't going to work. So I started painting, and that's what I still do today. 5 years later.
I liked all my jobs.
Really? Well, I hope you really like this one.
I love this job. My current job is awesome. They're so amazing. Great job. Great people to work for, and like they let me tour, and then I come back and work. They hold my position for me. Like
That's
it's
awesome.
Awesome. So
I'm glad they understand,
Yeah.
because most places, hey, I gotta go 6 weeks. See ya.
yeah, exactly. No, they're super supportive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing with the company that I'm painting with now. You know, the day they interviewed me, I was like, well, guess what? I'm in a band. You know, not just a band, but you know, we had actually just got back from Japan, so I was like, I played that card. I was like, yeah, we just toured Japan for 2 weeks, so just to give you a hint, you know, what kind of a band it is. And they're like, oh. I'm like, so if I gotta get up and go, I'm going.
Go.
Yeah.
And if I have a job when I get back, that's your call. You know, so, and you know, we haven't toured since, but you know, we've done a few
We've done runs.
you know,
Yeah, but
little
nothing
like
extensive.
weekend runs or whatever, and it's kind of been like no question. It's like, okay, yeah, go ahead, do what you gotta do. So they understand.